Hello, everybody, and welcome to this final part of the three-part series, which is supposed to cover the Indian automotive industry, its current scenario, and the future outlook going forward. This part 3 is possibly the culmination of the first two parts itself. The part 3 here is going to cover not just the cars themselves, the product itself, but the whole ecosystem itself, and why India is going to become not just a consumption hub or just a production hub. It needs to become both so that we really get the growth that a country of this size deserves and the contribution to the economy which can be made if this industry can function with full guns blazing. So, here is a detailed outlook with regards to why India will need to become and how can it become a production and a consumption hub. Point number 3. This is, I think, the biggest point which is for the Indian future of the Indian car industry. This alongside with electric, this is of course linked with the previous 2 points which I mentioned, but this is on a bigger scale, not just cars but the whole ecosystem surrounding it, as you may see. Now, as I was saying, that this is a whole mobility change which is coming in. Now, what I mean by mobility is it's not just the car makers, but it is all about transporting people now, especially with more electrification coming in. That's why you see car makers, big car makers, like for example Volkswagen, changing their names to Volkswagen Mobility. So that is a big theme going forward, and this is certainly interlinked with the Indian car industry because ultimately it's the automobile, and we are going to see more and more mobility solutions also being provided. And for that, I certainly think that more and more production, and it's not just me thinking, there are already proven reports and more commentaries by the car makers and also other you can, if you see other automobile providers, they are more and more focusing on mobility too. Transporting people has become a big agenda, I would say, and this is going to allow India to be a production hub, and for it to be a production hub, it is also going to be a consumption hub. Now, we are already, I would say, a consumption hub, being one of the largest car markets in the world, but that is only going to increase now. And before moving on, I would certainly like to take cognizance of the fact that COVID has changed scenarios, that it has had led to things being changed and causing it has led things being changed and causing much more serious change, and might have pushed back things quite a bit. But still, overall, I would say this has not changed the ultimate outlook, and which is why, along with being a production hub, India is going to be a consumption hub too. The main points behind this are that population is increasing, more and more people are coming into the workforce, and this is ultimately going to allow more and more customers for these cars, for the mobility solutions which they are going to provide. And production in the country is only going to increase due to enormous growth prospects, and also potentially favorable policies by the government. Now, I would say that does remain, it remains to be seen whether it continues, but going by what the government has been saying, this is only going to continue. I think it's likely that it is going to continue, and with these favorable policies, with whether it is the PLI scheme or the FAME scheme with regards to electric cars adoption, it is, I think, only going to continue and give, of course, not only more cars to the Indian car market, but give more employment, and that is ultimately going to have a positive cycle. And with India being a production hub, it is also going to be a consumption hub. So that is going to be a big change going forward, and potentially being hugely beneficial to the Indian economy itself. Now, again, this is backed up by the fact that more and more manufacturers are actually entering the Indian car market. More global car manufacturers. You can see like the likes of Citroën, which entered the car market last year. We have the likes of Kia, which entered the car market in 2019 and just had a stunning, I would say, growth as soon as they have entered with their products like Seltos and the Sonnet. Even other car maker in the form of MG. Morris Garages also has had a great start, I would say, to the Indian car market, especially with the Hector, and also the Hector Plus. I would say it's the same thing. It's just the seating configurations are different, but this is going to allow them also to be more established and actually go forward in the Indian car industry. And other than that, other already present car market or car makers are actually re-establishing themselves. They are revitalizing themselves, like the Volkswagen group, Volkswagen and Skoda. They are revamping their entire product lineup. They're bringing in more SUVs, pushing electrification also in the Indian car market in the long term, but they are now bringing in SUVs again with their renowned quality and their renowned driving experience too. You can also see other car makers like Renault and Nissan. They are also revitalizing themselves again by bringing SUVs or crossover SUVs in the form of Magnite and the Kiger, and also in Renault's case even the Triber and first product being Kwid. Just actually help them revitalize themselves, gain more market share, and make their business in India more sustainable, which is the best thing for them and also us, because consumers should always have choice, and more car makers entering the market, that allows us to have choice. So to sum it all up, I know this has been a long video, but to sum it all up, I would say the future of the Indian car industry seems really bright, but there are some hurdles which we need to cross, and it is ultimately a long-term story. And there are a lot of hurdles or challenges which need to be met with. First of all, you can see demographics. India is still, on per capita basis, it's still not up there. It's not a advanced economy or in the sense a grown economy or a MEDC, or more economically developed country. Other factors like costs are again more for the manufacturers here, so if they continue to remain high, that is not going to allow this future which we have been looking forward to be accelerated and actually brought in even more faster. And then of course the policies which have been set up need to be continued and need to be improved upon to make sure that we are scaling up our production infrastructure, our electric car infrastructure, and just the whole ecosystem surrounding it. And of course, the more important thing being shifting out as soon as possible out of this COVID scenario. Right now, car makers are struggling, I would say. It has not been a good past year for them. So, as soon as we can, the industry needs to come out of this strong by showing strong sales numbers for the current products, and of course by introducing new products as and when possible. It is only going to allow them to increase their sales and make sure that they are well established and set up to take the advantage which is going to come in the near future in terms of the whole Indian market. That is why I think more and more manufacturers are entering, then they are offering more products and offering the best of their products. So overall, the future of the Indian car industry certainly seems very bright, and if all the hurdles, all the challenges which I mentioned are met with, this is only going to be better. for the Indian car market and ultimately better for us, racing and automobile enthusiasts. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you later. Bye bye.